Welcome to our latest video, States with the highest minimum wage in America. In a country where cost of living varies greatly from coast to coast, so does the minimum wage. It's an essential tool to ensure workers can afford basic necessities. Today we're taking a closer look at the states where the minimum wage really stands out. From the Atlantic to the Pacific, we'll count down from the state with the 12th highest minimum wage, all the way to the state that tops the list. Let's dive right in, starting with the state holding the 12th spot, Maine. At number 12, we have Maine, with a minimum wage of $14.15. Known for its stunning coastline and delicious seafood, Maine's minimum wage paints a picture of a state striving for balance between cost of living and workers' rights. Moving westward, we find Oregon at number 11. With a minimum wage of $14.20, Oregon, famous for its diverse landscapes and vibrant cities, is another state working to ensure its citizens earn a decent living. At number 10, we have Arizona. The minimum wage here is $14.35. As a state renowned for its desert climate and bustling urban centers, Arizona's minimum wage reflects its commitment to its workforce. Next up at number 9 is Colorado. With a minimum wage of $14.42, it's clear that the state, known for its breathtaking mountain ranges and outdoor recreation opportunities, values its workforce. Finally, we reach Massachusetts, on the East Coast, coming in at number 8. The minimum wage here is $15. As one of the country's oldest states, Massachusetts shows its progressive nature with its commitment to a higher minimum wage. Next, we move to the East Coast to the state of New York. At number 7, we have New York and Maryland with a standard minimum wage of $15. Now, isn't that an interesting coincidence? Two states, two completely different regions, yet they share the same commitment to their workers. Shifting our focus to the Garden State, New Jersey comes in at number 5 with a minimum wage of $15.13. A slight notch above its neighbors, but every cent counts, doesn't it? Let's not forget about Connecticut. This state proudly stands at number 4, offering a minimum wage of $15.69. A bit higher than the national average, sure, but it's a reflection of the cost of living in this New England state. It's fascinating to see how these wages compare to the national average, isn't it? Each of these states has recognized the need for a living wage that matches the cost of life within their borders. Moving on to the top 3 states, we head back to the West Coast. Stay tuned, we're just getting to the cream of the crop. In third place, we have California with a minimum wage of $16. This is no surprise, considering the state's reputation for progressive policies and high cost of living. California's government has consistently worked to increase the minimum wage over the years, aiming to balance the scales for workers living in one of the most expensive states in America. Making a leap to second place, we find Washington, where the minimum wage is $16.28. Washington's high minimum wage is a testament to the state's commitment to its workers. It's a result of legislation and initiatives passed by voters, intended to ensure that everyone can afford the basics, even on a minimum wage paycheck. And at number 1, we have the District of Columbia with a whopping minimum wage of $17. This reflects the high cost of living in the nation's capital and the efforts of local government to ensure that workers can afford to live in the city where they work. It's a powerful example of how policy can directly impact the lives of workers, providing them with a wage that allows for a decent standard of living. Each of these states has made significant strides in raising the minimum wage, reflecting a commitment to economic fairness and the belief that hard work deserves fair pay. The people living and working in these states are reaping the benefits of these policies, which go a long way in closing the gap between the minimum wage and the living wage. This is a testament to the power of policy and the importance of advocacy in shaping the economic landscape. So there you have it, the states with the highest minimum wages in America. We started our journey in Maine with a minimum wage of $14.15 and ended up in the District of Columbia, where the minimum wage stands tall at $17. Making our way through the list, we explored the wages in Oregon, Arizona, Colorado, Massachusetts, New York, Maryland, New Jersey, Connecticut, California, and Washington, each with its own unique wage structure. Now let's talk about the average wage needed to be considered middle class in America. It's roughly around $68,000 annually, which translates to about $32.69 per hour. When we compare this to the minimum wages we've just discussed, it's clear that there's a significant gap. While some states are making strides towards closing this gap, it's evident there's still a long way to go. This highlights the importance of understanding the wage structures and economic conditions of the state you're in and how it affects your quality of life. Remember to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you found it informative. Stay tuned for more insightful videos. Until then, stay savvy, folks.